Yeah, finally President Emerson Mnangagwa cemented this conversation. He said, I'm done, I am done, and I'm leaving by 2028. And it's very clear. And this time in China, not in Zimbabwe. So for those that are doubting him, we need to actually explore that tonight. Also, Fikile Mbalula is mocking ZANU-PF that they failed to actually have a very strong and robust leadership to fix Zimbabwe. It's sad. Honestly, the last time I checked, it seems like they were very good. They were good friends. But no, from the moment they had this marriage with the DA, ZANU-PF no longer exists at all. They don't exist. All right, so if it's your first time, before we get into the nitty-gritties, to come across this channel, please make sure that you subscribe and you ring the bells that every time I'm live, you're going to be notified immediately. I also want to send some love and light to my regulars and say, come over. We need to talk about very important issues. Who doesn't want to hear about the succession? Who does not want to hear? Let me tell you, we are moving in the most very sensitive times that I want you to pay attention very closely. I just want to say shout out to Miriam right now. Good to see you. Do not forget to like the lives that we push algorithm, inviting everyone to the conversation. This time around, Zimbabweans, no, don't cry when you get hoodwinked. If you don't want to apply your minds, you understand? Mr. Mungoni, it's good to see you, man. Petronella, I'm so glad you are here. Lawrence, good to see you, man. You understand? Gone are the days where you can sit back and just let things happen right in front of you. We want to have robust conversations because we are not going to be hoodwinked again. Because trust me, we may be worrying about President Emerson Mnangagwa, which I'm not worrying about him that much, is I am worried about those that have so much interest in getting into power, because these are the people that will create problems and chaos for us. That's why we need to be very much at work, so that at least when we choose the right leadership, the leadership that will not bring us back into this nonsense that we're in today, especially when it comes to thieving and abuse of human rights. We don't want that. So yeah, President Emerson Mnangagwa was on record confirming that he is leaving by 2028. And this time he said, I'm not. He said it in China, not in Zimbabwe, in China. Okay? So now let's talk about the relationship between the ANC and ZANU-PF. Right? You have seen how they've been kind of gallivanting together, I think pre-elections. But I must say, immediately after South African election, the relationship changed. Number one is because ANC got married to the DA. Number two is ANC losing power really just launched them into this space of introspection. So for that reason, they are more focusing on South Africa than they can be focusing on what's going on the other side of the border, right? I guess this is one of the reasons why even the ZANU-PF too have realized that no, we are going to be on our own here. Because every time we're just a joke, whatever move that we make, people laugh at us. I mean, we've seen what's going on right now as we speak, but I want you to listen to Fikile Mbalula then before we move to actually discussing about what happened in China. Take a listen to Fikile Mbalula, please, about their friends, ZANU-PF. Okay. You felt like simple principles that anyone else can actually do. You failed. It's got very sad. But anyway, take a listen to Fikile Mbalula, please.
Everybody agreed South Africa has embraced the GNU as a country. South Africa says to the world, it has never happened in a world that you can put up government in such a short notice and form government. Many countries, they take a year arguing. Here next door in Zimbabwe, our friends, when they formed GNU, they took a longer period. In DRC, I went to DRC. When I arrived there was still no government. They were forming government. Here in South Africa, it happened within 14 days. It was done and dusted. When Malema woke up, we were done. We're done with GNU gone. So we're not talking things that are untouchable.
Can you hear that? It's my friends, like the ZANU-PF people, are taking forever to make a decision. But for us, 14 days, we're done. It simply means that you have used to be my friends, but no, we can't vibe together because you can't even make a decision. How can you call me your friend? We aren't friends at all. This is Malema here. But now we talk about what's happening in China. Let me just tell you, Ramaphosa got this executive, entrance in China. And you know that most of these presidents are in China right now for the summit, for the conference, sorry. Ramaphosa, I could not believe it. But Zimbabwean delegates went, I think, about 2 days or 3 days ago. When I don't remember when, but not today, actually. They've been in China for the past few days. But then Ramaphosa just kicked into China today, and I can tell you the entrance, playing the South African, like national anthem. Also, I'm talking about the army in China. I mean, the president. And we just saw President Mnangagwa kind of gallivanting with these people. We don't know who the people are. And he was talking about the school that he went for, the army that I told you during the day. The way he was kind of moving around with his son. I think that's where the son actually went for the army, training, whatever the case may be. And I'm seeing him and I'm telling them they're there. But they look very, very, very sad. There's no joy. Like, there's really no joy. I'm sure people can see that if this man leaves, most of these guys are in trouble. For the month that they've been looting are in deeper trouble. People are going to pay it heavily. I just can't. Most people are going to go to prison, unfortunately. It is what it is. But I'm going to read what PresValerio had to say. He said to Nick Mangwana then, is it really a state visit, Nick Mangwana, or are they just there for a general conference? Are there different levels to this? Has our delegation met President Xi Jinping yet? Why is there such a big difference between our visit and South Africa's visit? Did we not arrive days ago? We need new leaders. I told you that Ramaphosa got such a grand entrance. I mean, I told you Ramaphosa is a father. There's just something about him, respect. He went with these ministers and the Minister of Agriculture too. These two were supposed to come and open agricultural show in Zimbabwe, which they declined. But today they were in China. And I saw people laughing and saying, oh, is that one of the reasons why they were not in Zimbabwe? Because they wanted to be in China. Do you understand? So questions are being thrown. Because now Nick Mangwana was kind of saying, yeah, you can see President Mnangagwa is there, we saw him, I've told you about the issue of him kind of dining with the school that he says he used to go for, the army school. And other presidents are receiving such respect. What's happening with our president? And I must say this, where there's ZANU-PF likes to know what they can try to play their games, the world knows what's going on in Zimbabwe. They know about human rights abuse. They are much aware about how they're messing up with the economy. People talk. I mean, who doesn't know the Zimbabwe situation? Guys, if you do not respect yourself, this is what I always say, don't expect the world to respect you. So it's not about the people, it's about you. So if you don't hold yourself in high regard, you should never expect anyone to give that energy, all right? So instead of ZANU-PF introspecting, change their ways. They always try to push a narrative of lies, propaganda, try to wear versar and pretend and lie to the Zimbabwean people. It doesn't cut, not in 2024. I'm just going to say to Joe Charamba and your people, just change your ways. And the things will align. Change your ways and just be human again. Right? Because now people are asking questions going on. They're having a meeting with President Mnangagwa. The journalists are asking very robustly. They were asking what's happening with the issue of the third term. So I want you to listen to what he said. Again, confirming on record that he is not going to renew his stay. By 2028, he's going to cut this whole thing. By the way, I want you Zimbabweans to take words as they are, and then you take him up with him at the right time. But listen to what he said, President Mnangagwa.
Akataura kuti ini I'm a constitutionalist. Yes. Zvinoreva kuti ndotevedza mutemo nebumbiro mutemo ndinotevedza chaizvo. Zvakarezve ndino mumwe wakarinyora. Saka ava munotavo makuwa navo muchiti shefu vangazowedzera makore adoda handiti. Ndine ndima yangu yandakapiwa nevanhu veziva kana yapera kuchaya mazuva ndima dzavowo. Wazviwa.
The compliment, Your Excellency.
Yes.
Yeah, because it is-
So this person of having third term does not arise, especially under my watch. No. I'm in my second term and I already know the detractor which are Papa Chicago, 2028. Kupita wangu. So kana kuna mwana kufira, vafurire kuti bobe. Azvisizo zvinofungwa nababa.
You heard him? Yeah. I must say this, you need to be very careful, okay? I've realized that there's quite a lot of ghost accounts that have been created online, right? And these ghost accounts are trying to play reverse psychology. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. We need to understand that in a Zimbabwean context, we have been sitting, in this whole toxic politics, pool for a long time. And because people in ZANU-PF are much aware that, especially those that are also after power, that they've got one contender that's so strong, it's Nelson Chamisa. They're much aware of that. So for that reason, they've invested a lot in trying to gaslight online. I want you to get this. And this may not even be the people that align with Mnangagwa, because the people that are aligning with President Mnangagwa are not even as sophisticated as you think. But there are so many people who are interested in power within the camps of ZANU-PF. And these people have taken it upon themselves to make sure that they flood social media and gaslight. And what do I mean by that is when Mnangagwa says he's going to leave, they will tell you that no, he's lying. And you know why they're doing that? Why they're playing their games to cause chaos within those that are supporting Nelson Chamisa. And they know that the more they're gaslighting, the more you guys are going to start saying, no, you don't believe in this. If you can see, most of them are telling you that Chamisa is no longer strong, or Chamisa is not out of politics, or Chamisa has done this, has done that. It's all gaslighting. Or they spend their time always criticizing opposition, right? They are criticizing opposition because they know that you are going also to say, but I think they are right. I think they are right. Because the more they flood social media, the more you listen to something, the more you believe it. The more you see something, the more you believe it. President Mnangagwa is on record not once, not twice, not thrice, right? Again, confirming that he is not going to violate the Constitution. And these people are much aware of what's going on within the camps of ZANU-PF, and they're going to use that against those who don't even know. You understand? So I'm just saying, beware of being hoodwinked. Because someone said, I wrote a tweet today and saying, if we don't put our lives in order, the army is going to do, there's going to be another coup in the country, and the army is going to take the power. I want to get this. From nowhere, a person is tweeting, because I know the person, and I'm asking myself, why is she tweeting that? It's all reverse psychology, because now, in a nutshell, what they're trying to say is, the army, if the army does coup, for example, and then does the coup and they takes the power, don't forget, they're not going to work alone. They need to work with the people. That has to be in the ministries of whatever and in these positions. Now, the question that you need to ask is, who are those people? Is the ones that are interested in positions, and they're interested in positions, and what they're doing is they're throwing words across social media, and you see them, you don't take them serious. You're like, oh, maybe they're just talking about the words. Zimbabwe does not have a problem. It simply has a problem with people that are rigging elections, right? It has a problem of subjugating people's will. So when those two things align, everything will fall into place. Having free and fair election in the country, right? Respecting the will of the people, and everything will fall into place, because the moment you have a leader that you can converse with, that you can recall should the person fail to deliver, you can impeach them. One thing that worries me, and I've been saying it and I repeat, is to go back where we came from, even to be worse than the way that we are. Because if someone comes from anywhere and come in and pull this power and take it, do you know what's going to happen after that? What if they take us again to the very same spot that we are running away from? Because I'm a firm believer that the moment a person violates a principle, the possibility that that person is going to win is 50%. It's 50-50. They're going to fail or they're going to win. So you need to choose. There's no guarantee. But when in Zimbabwe, when people choose their own leader, if that person fails, they have the power to impeach. I'm still a firm believer that we need to go back to principles, Zimbabweans. We have been in this mess for a long time, and we must never forget that we have people who worked tirelessly for decades trying to make sure that we get good leaders. And those people have been abused and violated. So what if there's some people that were plotting to be where they want to be, the same way that maybe Mnangagwa, President Mnangagwa and Chiwenga were being accused of plotting for years to be where they are. What if the very some people that have interest to get position that they don't qualify for are doing exactly the same? So I'm simply saying, guys, we need to go back to basics. Let's go back to basics and get leaders that are voted by the people, so that when they fail, the people will take responsibility and impeach them and get other leaders. That's just my take. But we have heard President Mnangagwa saying that he is not telling you he's going to leave. And I know some people are saying, no, it's not true. But I suspect it's true. I suspect it's true because I'm seeing how the tensions are changing and how the mood is changing and how some people automatically are trying to align themselves with Chiwenga. I know quite a number of those. And I remember someone tweeting that even the Minister of Information, and they were referring to Jefferson Muswere, that is already starting up aligning himself with Chiwenga. And I also saw him, actually, when there was a meeting, remember, when there was a meeting, and he was looking at Mudenda in a very funny way. Even Mudenda today is on record again, still saying the very same thing, that if we are not very careful, he's talking about we must respect the parliament and we must respect our constitution. Now, I'm asking myself, but how do you talk about the parliament, but you're the person who was anointing and laughing Sangezo Shavangu, even after all that he did, that was wrong. But again, I've told you, it's just dirty politics. And until Zimbabweans realize that dirty politics don't pay, it's going to take us backwards, they will stop it. Nothing will stop. And we need to learn to respect the rules and respect our constitution. But let's read what President Mnangagwa is saying here. He wrote also a message that the President Mnangagwa on his page, meet the Zimbabwean diaspora community based in China. He commended them on their hard work and resilience. He encouraged them to take advantage of the national diaspora policy and invest back home. He said the technical expertise and experience gained in China should benefit Zimbabwe, saying trade and technology skills development, capacity and building, among others, have vast opportunities for investment. The president also applauded people in the diaspora for foreign currency remittances that are expected to increase by 18% from 1.6 billion last year. In a question and answer segment, some of the people were interested in the terms of the president, while others wanted to know about investment opportunities back home. So in terms they're referring to if he's going to extend his stay or either another term, in the office. But the Honorable Minister Mtuli Amos Murwira took turns to answer questions and gave policy directions on various economic developments back home. But then Kasukure responded as well to President Mnangagwa, and he said a constitutionalist will not allow people to be denied bail and minors jailed without trial. History has no blank pages. Look out Masuku, Dumiso Davengwa, John Job Scala, Sean Timber and Avondo Tim are examples of delinquent behavior. Follow the law to the dot. And I think he's right. If he's speaking to President Mnangagwa, you should respect the law and make sure these innocent people are out of prison. But I must say, because I know Zimbabweans are very good at playing dirty games, especially the ones that are in politics. Don't forget that we were in the same situation with Mugabe, right? People think Mugabe was the bad man, which I'm not saying he was. He was the leader. He had the power to stop or to do anything that he could. He had the powers to do so. But we need to ask, the moment he left, we still were sitting with a problem because of the system. So what I'm saying is, when I look at this President Mnangagwa at this point in time, I don't put all the blame on him. I put all the blame on every Zimbabwean, all right? I put all the blame on every Zimbabwean because Zimbabweans need to take responsibility of what's going on in the country. We can't just blame one person, right? We must blame everybody who is under this administration. Why are things going south and they're not doing absolutely nothing about this? I'm seeing someone who's putting kind of the speaker. What is the problem? And then the response was very interesting there from Kasukure. Someone said, Ranka said, your absolute lack of shame is a truly admirable quality, sir. And then Xavier responded and said, my conscience is my master. I will not try to embrace anyone, but will stand for that which I'm convinced is right. And then someone was saying, after all, what you did in Mandarin, what Mr. Tyson first make a public apology before you can comment on atrocities. But I must also say that Savior cannot make an apology online. Should there be a time that you need to make an apology, I think that would be to the Zimbabwean people. Make an apology on social media is not an apology at all, if there are things that were done wrong. But I must say, we also need to understand, guys, that for us to move forward as a Zimbabwean people, we need to unite. There's no any other way around. And I know that the people that may be accused for doing one thing or the other, we must come together in unity if we want to fix Zimbabwe. I know there are so many things that went wrong in the past, so many. But unfortunately, for us to move forward, we need to make sure that at least we get to a point where we forgive each other and we really have robust conversations as far as everything wrong that was done by ZANU-PF is concerned. But at the end of the day, we can't keep on bashing each other day in, day out, day in, day out. We must find a common ground and really resolve our issues in an amicable way, in a way that gives us at least a path to move forward. I'm not there to defend or deny, but I'm simply saying attacking each other may not be the right way to resolve our issues, but working together. Again, making sure that people, not only do they ask for apology, but also they must be in a position to repent from their ways. Do you understand? It's one thing to say, I'm sorry I've done you wrong. It's another thing to repent from your ways. Because some people are good at apologizing, but they're very bad at repenting. So they keep hurting people and hurting people again. So I, again, still saying, I'm terrified if we can go back to where we are coming from. I'm doing everything in my power to say, guys, we need to make sure that we build a Zimbabwe that is healthy for everyone. Successful, peaceful, loving, caring, a Zimbabwe that understands that when we are unified, we will do more than when we support and promote hatred. So now, also, watching on after when you heard President Mnangagwa talk about the third term, he is writing and he said citizens must worry of President Mnangagwa. Another who thinks Mnangagwa is not part of the 2030 nonsense must be living under a rock. How does someone repeatedly shout a slogan talking about something he doesn't want to do? But again, I must say, you must not forget that it's not only Mnangagwa, it's a system. So there are people who know for sure that because of the atrocities, some of them have committed crimes. And they're still young, right? They've committed crimes and they're still young. Their worry is that they have to pay. So some of them are the ones who are pushing. They know their dirty games that they've played. So you may not think that it may be President Mnangagwa alone who's just pushing for 2030. No, there are people who know very well within ZANU-PF that they're in trouble. Should this man leave power? They're in trouble. So there's a lot that we need to look into. Because I do remember Chamisa on record, also Kasukure on record. I also heard, Ibomandas as well, that they are happy to forgive President Mnangagwa. They are led to give him like a peaceful exit, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean that those that try to dip their hands into the jars of corruption across the country will just gonna escape. No. So for that reason, they're also trying they're desperate. They're desperate for this protection. Because when the protection is gone, it's going to rain. It's really going to rain. So Hopochimone is saying you must not take this lightly. You mustn't believe that this 23rd is a lie. But like I said, I'll take President Mnangagwa by his word. He did not say it once, not twice, not thrice. I mean, today in China, again, confirming that he does not want more time in the office. Take him by his word. Take him by his word. I mean, the world is watching. The world can hear him. So let's see what's going to happen. But like I said, there are so many overzealous people within the parameters of ZANU-PF who know that they have a lot to answer. And they're also pushing because of desperation. Because some of them, prison is going to be their home for life, unfortunately. So Max Lyon said the corrupt leaders created a political system that empowers criminals instead of hard-working people. It's wrong when people go into politics to plunder the country's resources. It's worse when they use the state institutions to carry out corrupt and criminal acts. Politics is about the people. Power belongs to the people. People should be able to choose their leaders and their government. Nothing will make sense or work until the politics is right. Zim needs to adhere to constitutionalism, rule of law, and human rights. Power that is concentrated in one person is a disaster in the making. There must be separation of powers. There must be accountability. No one should be above the law, especially the president. power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely, and which we all agree. But again, I've told you there are so many overzealous individuals in ZANU-PF who are just pushing this war mantra, and I hear during the day some of them are being forced to remove to leave some certain groups. Like I'm talking about WhatsApp groups because of the fights within ZANU-PF. I've told you I'm not even much more worried about Mnangagwa in terms of him want to be in the office. So I know that's not going to happen because those in ZANU-PF will push it back. But I'm very much concerned about those that are desperate for power now, who wants to enter. They're the ones that we should really to be very careful of because they can play any game because they are worried and they know for sure that if there can be a free, fair, credible election in Zimbabwe, they have no chance. Chamisa will get in. Those people, that's the one that you need to be worried about because they can pull any string. Like I told you about that tweet that I saw today about the issue of the coup. I still believe that principles reign supreme. You can't cut corners and expect to succeed. We must go back to basics and do things the way they're supposed to be done. Building a better Zimbabwe is not going to be cutting corners, guys. We, as a people of Zimbabwe, we need to start doing things right like other countries if we genuinely want to succeed. But let's hear ZANU-PF, the other faction also that is pushing for power, again, desperate for positions. Take a listen.
We have my groups. My groups are official. PEC panel. We don't want my groups are still official. If you want to come and my groups are no pizza, you see, in the Wapidamo, how we see this work out. No popularize a national province. Could you say my groups are had? Chakaula group panel. Rokuzama divide leadership. Rakaitwa na nomukomana nonzi Munyaradzi shoko rakapinzwa vakawanda vamwe vari muno, vamwe masenda wakomiti arimo, vamwe ma-MP arimo, vamwe ma-provincial members arichi arimo. Isitirongoti gurupu iroro budai marisi. Vamwe vakada kujustify kuti nendangokandwa ndikazobuda ndozonzi Munyaradzi shoko takataura kuti is not a member of ZANU-PF wakadzingwa musakani. Munhu unotoita zvokurwisa vakuru. Isi tinoziva kuti president ndiwa Mnangagwa. Vane mavhaisi avo, madeputies avo, vachiwenga navanhu navamuhani. Iri gurupu tinoona zvinoudzwa kuti zvinonyogwamo, munonyogwa zvinhu zvokudivhaida. Enderera kutotogwa mutevedzero womutungamiri wenyika achitsvetwapo potonyorwa kunzi team 1, team 1. Handimozvizisa. Saka ndingoti semasvingo province indaundosecha vamwe unogona kupindwawo usinganyanyi kuverenga maWhatsApp wokona kurumidza zvirwisisa. Chikandosecha WhatsApp yako ukaona uri mugrupu racho wodini.
I told you that the problem that we actually have is not even President Mnangagwa. It's more to do with those that are power hungry as we speak are even more dangerous because they want to disregard, those that can be voted for because they want to be the front, and that we must resist everything that we have. We must resist it. No, we can't. We want to go back to basics. Having a nation that functions normally. Not every time there's always stories about Zimbabwe. We are really tired. As ZANU-PF drama, we are tired with it, I must say. But like I said, I also saw today at Teninkame as well, and yesterday I heard about Musenkezi. You remember Musenkezi, the one that was suing President Mnangagwa, because of the coup, that he said he was an illegitimate leader. Again, he was on record yesterday saying that if Chiwenga is not being respected in ZANU-PF, he must leave ZANU-PF who will support him. You know what I mean? I saw as well today at Tenengam, that should be the ZANU-PF youth committees are saying the very same thing, that, we will do everything in our power to resist Mnangagwa's, stays for third term. But like I said, he's on record saying he's not going to take it. Some people don't believe him. Some are laughing and say it's not even true. But like I said, I'm also want to be very much, smart as far as dealing with issues are concerned. I know there's a lot of deception going on. You need to use your own brain, and you can't just be dragged left to dragged right. You must be firm in what you do. we'll take him by his word. He said it, and we have heard it, and everyone have heard it. Social media right now is ablaze. I can see people on X as well as we speak now. People are sending all different comments. Some are saying we're not believing in him. Like I said, take him by his word. You need to learn to be a society that takes people by their word, not by assumption and speculations. Yes, you don't trust him, but I said take him by his word. Give him a platform. He has said it. And next time, when it comes to saying something different, he's simply nailing himself. Because as a leader, you must be known for keeping your word. The whole world is listening. He's saying it in China. The whole world, I'm saying the whole world know that he has said it. You understand? But let's see at some of these comments here that people are saying again. You know, the Priscilla Chigumba issue. That I'm sorry for my lady, but people are still saying they don't really care. Now, let me look at some of the comments there. So Rua said, so is Idi Mnangagwa saying that there is rampant indiscipline and lawlessness within ZANU-PF. People who don't love Zimbabwe and its laws are those calling for a third term, indeed unpatriotic with a great hatred for Zimbabwe and her constitutional law. And then Otto says this guy has a tendency of indicating right, but then turns left. He needs to stop his runners like Muda, Chadzamira, Garwe, Machakaire, Mavetera, Machacha, Masimerembra, or something. I can't pronounce some of these names. And so many people, Anavara Cash for ED and Nika. You know, whenever I look at these people that are at the forefront and pushing for a third term, I don't see anything they can do for Zimbabwe, in my opinion. When I look at them, I'm like, you have nothing to offer. You better sit down. You have nothing to offer. When you are claiming of something, you must be in a position to lead people somewhere. You know, so I can only imagine if I'm saying I'm following Mavetera, where is she going? Where is she going? When I look at Machakairi, he's not looking like a zombie. Where is he going? Because he wants me to follow him. To going where? You know, when I look at Muda too, where is Muda going? That you want to drag me with? Because if you're a leader, you are saying, follow me. You know, I'm taking you somewhere. So what's your vision for the nation? You know what I mean? So I'm very much practical, and I'm not going to be dragged by all these feelings and craziness. I'm going to use my brain and be stable and say, sir, what do you have to offer to take us wherever you want to go? We want to go, right? So I'm not even bothered. Varakash for ED assembly. I mean, these kids. I don't know what these kids said it's very sad. You know what I mean? Some of them are working for $10 per day. So where are they taking me to? So we should be focusing on the direction that the country should be going, not to people who are just saying whatever they want to say. They have the right to say it if they want to. And then Imbosak said he will step down. 2030 Mnangagwa Maninga is referring to his son. Oh, okay. No, what? All right, so that's some people are saying, you know, he's referring to his son, not him. So the other person said, I could have third term, but pressure is too much to handle. There's much pressure within the ZANU-PF thing. They are saying, no, it's not going to happen. And Comrade Mabun said he is lying, that one. Someone says big lies. Other person said the question is do the provinces endorsing a third term, they actually know they are doing it against the will of the president and against the values the values he stands for, that is constitutionalism. Do they know that, or it's just a song? I really do not think that ZANU-PF people will allow President Emerson Mnangagwa to extend his stay. I don't think so. It's just that, you know, there's so many overzealous people, bootlickers, who always want to say things. You know, let me tell you, even with Chamisa, I must say, even with Chamisa, there are people who are just saying things that are not even true because they're just crazy people. They're overzealous. You call them gatekeepers. You know, they want to. I must be seen acting like I love the person. No. Real love and genuine, authentic love is truth. If you love someone, you must be in a position to tell them the truth, but not to please them, even when they are wrong. It doesn't work like that. So real leaders in ZANU-PF know. I mean, Eddie Cross is the advisor. He made it very clear that you have to go to rest. He's not going to take any more time in the office. So I respect what Eddie Cross say than what the Varakash people on the street are saying. So we must also be very careful. And I'm not even worried about that. I'm more focusing on those that will come post Mnangagwa era, because I'm not prepared to go back where I'm coming from. I am not. But if you are not very smart, there's a possibility. So we really need to make sure that whatever we are doing, we're doing it right. And there's really thorough scrutinization of these people who want to come in there and be leaders. Who are you? Where are you coming from? What's your character? Give us your resume. I'm more focusing on the character part. How do you treat people? You understand what I'm saying? Did you raise your family well? Let's check in with your children and your wife and what are you about? You understand? Because that will inform the kind of leader you're going to be. Because people don't understand how your lifestyle really contributes a lot to your leadership. That's why they always say a person who fails to be a leader at home can never lead anything. In many ways, and they're right. Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, you need to go back home and love your family. A man fails to lead his children can never be able to lead anything and succeed most of the times if he does not take care of his children. I didn't say you can divorce and still love your kids and be a good daddy, but you can't be a bad father at home and still want to say you're going to lead into the world. The two don't work together. It kind of lie. So for some reason, we need to understand that if we don't cross-check these people that are saying, I want to come in and I want to be your leader, if we don't trace their lifestyle and follow their tracks and say, oh, you, this year in 1980-something, you did that, you were there, you did this, you understand what I'm saying? If we don't do that, then we are failing ourselves. We need to start. That's why I do not want these people to come in by time my games are oh, tricks. We want them to come clean. Who are you? What are you all about? What's your name? Who is your parent? Where are you coming from? Because Taneta go drag when man was not direction. Zimbabweans, we need to stand firm and demand that we have a political space that really functions for everyone. Our people don't deserve this. We've been through the most. So I'm really, really begging you across the world to never allow woodwinking again. Atichada kutambwa ma games. Tukudam my politicians are clean. Anoya upfront and said, in Indian sorry, so I think I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Toku check a resume yako. Tena my debates. Come through. People should scrutinize you. If you cannot qualify, it's okay, sir. You can serve someone else because you don't need to be a leader you don't need to be a president to serve. There are so many ways to serve. You don't need to have a title to serve. Right? You can still serve without a title. So that's my mantra. You can serve without a title. So if you just think that you need the power to do something, there must be something not right with you. You see this? Something not right. You understand? So let us be wiser. This time, we're going to be played again. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But be wise. Open your eyes. Don't take words lightly. But beware of being gaslighted and beware of being played reverse psychology. Toxic politicians, I refuse to be led by people who have a tendency of using force. No. Show us your ideas. Then if we want to follow you, we will. If we say, no, we don't want you. Anyone who comes in using force and violence, run. Because don't think that they will change. They will not change. That's all I'm going to say for you. So, I hope you guys, you'll be wiser and be sober and be vigilant. But believe President Mnangagwa now and take him by his word when the time arrives. If anything happens within now and before 2028, we will see. We are watching. I'm more focusing on those that are looting the money. That's my main concern. I'm not even worried about I'm focusing on this one that are looting money and keep our people in poverty. By the way, 1.7 was spent just to fix for SADC. It's on record, 1.7 billion, right? What you saw, does that cost 1.7 billion? These are my concern. These people that keeps us in poverty are the ones that we need to focus on. The taxpayers' money that they are busy looting. That's what we need to be really, really, really focusing on to make sure that at least we don't want to be played again. I love you and God bless you and God bless Zimbabwe. I'll see you tomorrow and be super, be fun, share and spread the fire of love. Bye for now.